Hi, I'm Vicki.
Hi, I'm Ken.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
I'm Bud, and we are the Pickleball Crew. And welcome to the weekly installment of the Pickleball Crew's podcast. The Pickleball Crew is a group of pickleball fanatics based in southeast Louisiana, but passionate about all things pickleball anywhere. In this podcast, Ken will review area tournaments, and then the group will jump into a lively discussion of oftentimes overlooked fourth shot. Jeff will share one of his many burrs under his saddle, and Vicki will close us out with a special shout out to one of our favorite people. And if you enjoy our podcast, please be sure to subscribe and like. All right, everybody, this is Bud, and welcome to the 11th podcast of the Pickleball Crew. Today, we're going to start off with Ken and his usual roundup of local tournaments.
Thanks, Bud. Big Easy is this coming weekend. We're all excited about that. They will have open play on Friday night, I think beginning at 6:30. It is full. We're ready to go. It's at the New Orleans Hilton. The weekend after, August 10th through 13th, will be the New Orleans Pickleball Fest, the Drew Brees tournament. It's in the New Orleans Convention Center. This is a multi-day tournament, so at a minimum you'll play 2 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, depending on what group you're in. They are expanding some of the draws that were previously filled and had a waiting list. A few of the groups have gone up as many as to 30 players. So there's still availability. There's over 500 people registered, and all the championship matches will be held on Sunday. So we're looking forward to that. The last weekend in August, the 23rd through 27th, again, is the Gastric Cancer Foundation Charity Tournament at the Foley Event Center. Go to pickleballbrackets.com. There's over 226 players registered in that event. Let's go to September. The first week of September, the 5th through 10th, is the Fall Paddles at the Plex in Opelika. Registration is open. September 23rd and 24th, registration opens on August 1st for the Pelican Park Classic. This will be a Saturday and Sunday tournament, September 23rd and 24th. I think you have gender doubles on Saturday, mixed on Sunday. It looks like it's $35 per event, and that gets you a goodie bag. I don't think it includes lunch or a T-shirt. A T-shirt is maybe $10 extra. You can either pre-buy or they may have them for sale there. The last weekend in September, September 30th, October 1st, for the Love of the Y, Baton Rouge. That's a sanctioned event. Check North Shore Pickleball, check our Facebook page. You'll see the link and how to register for that. For the Love of the Y, Ronnie Walters is the host, and Magnolia Classic will be running the tournament. October 7th and 8th is the Fall Fling in St. Francisville. This is starting to fill up. They're only allowing 200 players maximum. Friday will be singles, not skinny singles. I'm told it's regular singles. Then Saturday and Sunday, Saturday will be gender doubles. Sunday will be mixed doubles. This is in St. Francisville. If you go to my Facebook page, you can see an application. It has to be printed, filled out, and mailed in. If you want more information, email Dan or Dave at wfpball@gmail.com. That's wfpball@gmail.com to get more information. But that $80 registration does get you 3 events. October 14th, 15th, we're excited. Vicksburg, Mississippi. Guess what? Gender doubles on Saturday is full, and there's a few spots available on Sunday in mixed. This one went quick, $60 per person, and got you both events. A round robin format. We're looking forward to Kathy and Therese hosting this great event. I know they have a good support team, and again, the gender doubles is already filled up. You can get on a waiting list, because what they said was as they kind of confirm who's in, who's out through payments and whatnot, they may have some openings for a few extra people. So if you're on the wait list, you may get in. The last weekend in October is the Hollow Wheel. It is full. That's in Baton Rouge. Always a fun weekend. Couple of save the dates. The first weekend in November, 4th, 5th, is the Senior Games at Greenwood in Baton Rouge. Also, Canebrake Country Club in Hattiesburg is having their first tournament with 12 outdoor courts. I have not got additional information as far as being able to register. The second weekend, November 11th and 12th, is the Tom Burkhart Magnolia Classic at Lott Park in Daphne. $50 for registration. It is open. There's over 30 players already registered at this point. These October, November tournaments will fill up quickly, and especially one like this that's honoring Tom Burkhart has done so much for pickleball in this area. So don't wait around. December, the first weekend in December is the Boys Ranch Christmas Classic at Fritchie Park Gym in Slidell. Registration is opening soon. Save the date for that. And December 9th, 10th at the Americana YMCA in Zachary is the Pickleball Invitational. It's second annual. It's Chase Rigdon's tournament. Again, another tournament that registration will open August 1st, and that one will probably fill up quickly. So make some notes here. It's a USAP sanctioned tournament, and jump on registration for some of those tournaments because they are going to fill up quickly. So that's it for now, Bud. Back to you. Thanks.
All right, Ken, thanks for that update. Lots of tournaments out there, folks. Get online and get registered. A lot of those tournaments are really for good events that we all need to support. So now the group is going to jump into seldom talked about. We always talk about the third and the fifth shot, but we're going to talk a little bit today about the fourth shot.
So we talk a lot about the third shot, but we talk very little about the fourth shot. And it's a shot that's very, very important. We've been working a little bit at drills on some of the points we're fixing to cover. If your fourth shot, okay, they're hitting the third and they're coming to the net and they're closing fast, and we have some people that really, really close that gap really fast. You have got to gear down and try to make that fourth shot bounce in front of those players that are coming. Sure, you want to try to get it at their feet, but if we get it up a little too high, you can see that you'll pay the price. And I think it's something that maybe people should put a little more focus on and realize what's happening. For the longest time, I didn't even realize what was going on there. But realizing now that if you could, a lot of people can attack a volley out of the air when they're coming. But if you make that ball gear down, soften it up, or roll it at their feet and make it bounce, it's a lot harder for them to be offensive with it. And it's so if we can get our fourth, we always focus on a good serve, a good return, a good third, and then we kind of leave it there. We don't really talk about a good fourth very much.
That's very, very true. And it was a big surprise for me as well to put some focus on that shot. And, and then of course we started working on it in drills because it's extremely important for you to be able to respond the proper way depending on what they do with that third shot. We talk about all the time, is it the third shot drop? Is it a third shot drive? What do I do if it's either one? There's you just think in terms of just the third shot drop, but that's not always what happens. Sometimes you're going to get a good cross court drop from somebody, and that can be such a great setup for your partner. And on the other side, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do about it. Like you said, it can really get you into trouble. But being able to read it again is a big, big thing, and paying attention to it, not just the third and woo, I made it and I'm good. It's looking at all your options with that fourth shot. And we work on the roll, we work on blocks, we work on punch volleys, we work on a lot of different things. And of course, if they are successful, the biggest point is if they're successful with that drop and it is dropping right in front of you, again, it's in that red zone. Don't go trying to do anything fancy with it. Just start a dink battle if you have to, but just get it back in and get it short right in front of them, like you
That's
said.
good stuff, Vicki.
Well, just going back to the third shot drive, I'm either trying to block the ball or punch the ball back. My number one goal is to keep them back. I don't want them moving in. We have a positional advantage. If we're up at that no volley zone, we have a positional advantage, and I want to keep them back. So I'm just trying to punch or block that ball as best I can. I'm also worried about a shake and bake. So I'm worried about them hitting that ball hard and me accidentally popping that ball up, or even just hitting it short where they've got somebody with some wheels that can follow in behind and try to do something with that ball. But the main thing I'm trying to do, really, whether it's a drop or a drive, the first thing I'm trying to do is see if I can keep them back.
So both of y'all touched on it. Let's be clear here. We're talking about the 4th, the 6th, the 8th, the 10th. Okay, as that ball keeps coming there, if you can roll it back at them and keep them back, okay, and then they come back over with it, their shot's a little high, punch it back at them, trying to keep them back, then you're watching on their 5th, 7th, or 9th, they might finally get that drop in that we can't attack back at their feet. That's where you got to downshift and gear down and really go soft somewhere with the ball, because they've hit a good shot that's making us reach down. Best thing for us to do is just lift it back into the kitchen, preferably cross court, Vicki, like you said, and then you're into your dink battle. And then, they have earned their way to the net at that point. And sometimes you just have to give leeway and say, okay, y'all did a good job there. We're fixing to let you have that. We're fixing to go cross court here, and we're in our dink battle, and off we go.
I'm hearing a lot of teachers and pros and whatever that on their videos, they're talking a lot about that cross court to the other person's backhand. And it's a matter of testing it out early, because it can be such an advantage. And while they're at the net, if they have a weak backhand, that might be the first place that you go with that dink. And safest place is always in the middle. We all know that if you,
right.
If you're pulled out, or you're having to back up or take that one step and you're a little uncomfortable with it.
My goal lately has been, if I'm on the receiving team, and that third shot comes back at me, if the somebody on the serving team, if they're both still back, I'm going to keep them deep. And as long as they hit it back at me, I'm going to hit it back, and I'm going to keep it as deep as I can for as long as I can. If they start creeping up, which a lot of good players will do, then we go, like Jeff says, we go into the dink battle, and we try to win the point that way. And again, as Vicki pointed out, I've really been trying to make hard shot off of a dink at my feet, down in that red zone.
Yeah.
That's a habit that I was into for a long time. I felt like I had to hit a winner at the net. And really, it's just a question of keeping the ball in play and waiting for a better opportunity.
That's right.
You had something, Ken?
Well, one other thing is, sometimes the partners, one may hesitate and not be unsure whether that third shot drop is successful or not. So sometimes, rather than naturally cross dinking or going to the middle, sometimes you may dink just over the side of the net where that person who's maybe the second person coming in, he's delayed or she's delayed at coming in. And so you're going to create some confusion where the person who has come in sooner, if you go cross court because the other person's delayed at coming in behind their shot, either that front person who's close enough is going to come across, or you've created a void. There's a void there, and that's where I'm dinking to, possibly, rather than naturally just automatically going across court with.
Yeah, y'all, there's no one size fits all here. You're not only reading the ball that they hit, you're reading those players. They may hit a really good drop shot, and one of them reads it wrong and stays back, and you may be able to put it back at that player.
Exactly. So, or if I'm dinking short to that side of the court where there's a void. There's not a player there.
Right. It's almost like having the point guard mentality where you're seeing the whole court and kind of just reacting to where they're at as to where you try to put that ball back.
Right. And this is actually where one of our favorite drills comes in, and that's the roll. And so
Yeah,
we talk a lot about the fourth shot and the opportunities for a roll, and how definitely if they're not moving in, that's just a great opportunity for you, especially if it comes a little higher, little loftier. You just roll it right back at their feet if they're moving, or if they're not and they're staying back, just keep rolling it back to them.
yeah. What Vicky's talking about, the forehand, backhand, and the backhand roll. You can, if you don't have that shot in your game and haven't worked on it, you're missing out, because it's a ball that you can take below the net and roll it, and it gets that arc, and also it's a dipping motion because you got that that forward spin on it to keep the ball in play, or try to dip it over the net and get it back down at their feet. It's a very effective fourth shot. And if you don't, if I'm out there watching this and I don't have that shot, I'm getting on YouTube, I'm getting with people, and I'm figuring out what is this shot and how can I learn to hit it.
Right.
It is a very effective shot that we have worked on extensively in drills with Vicki. He's brought the whole our whole group. The roll shots have really improved over the last couple of months.
Absolutely. And even people who were afraid of doing it with the backhand are now doing it more and more. And it's just wonderful to see.
And that's where they may hit a good third shot, but it's in your yellow zone possibly, that you can still take that ball out of the air and punch or use that roll to keep them deep. Put a little top spin on that ball and not let it bounce. Because the second you let that third shot bounce, then they've now gained that advantage and they're moving in.
Right.
Oh, Ken, you just brought up another really good point. If you back up and take that it's a ball that you could take out of the air on the fourth, but you, for whatever reason, not comfortable taking a ball out of the air, or you just back up sometimes. When you back up off of that line to hit your fourth, the other team they're still coming, and you're giving them more time and making your fourth shot more difficult than it should be. That's why it's important. We tell people in drills, that's your real estate. You hold your ground there and take that ball out of the air if you can, because you're taking that time away from them trying to come to the net. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's making your fourth shot a lot harder if you don't hold that ground.
Well, that's right. I mean, you're already at an advantage, as we've talked about before. You're already, your partner hopefully has returned the ball and already there. So you already have an advantage. And so this shot, if it's done correctly, read correctly, done, executed correctly, it's even that much more of an advantage for your team, no doubt. And I think that there's a lot of times when you really can hit somebody on the move at their feet. There are times when it's happened where they're so focused on getting to the front that if you don't even have to hit it hard, but you're just watching how they're moving and how they're running, and you can place the ball with a nice, easy roll between the two players deep. To me, that's one of my favorite shots.
Mm-hmm. One of mine too.
Love that shot when you can go down the middle. You don't have to hit it hard, and it just passes them right up, and they're like, "What just happened there?" So,
yeah, my favorite shot is you've got one opponent at the net, and the other one's coming in, and you can just roll one right in between them.
mm-hmm.
What you got, Ken? You had something?
Well, I was just saying, if they're hitting a third shot drop and they're running through their shot, in some ways they need to almost split step and stop if they can't make it all the way in. But when you've got somebody who's still moving, and all you have to do is lay that ball right in between them, because they're still moving, and that's hard to hit a ball, as we all know, while you're still running. So sometimes people will try to get all the way up to that no volley zone, even if they've hit a okay or good third shot, but it's not a great third shot that you can take out the air. Then you just roll it right in between them, because they're moving and they can't stop and change direction on that. So
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those times when staying focused and really reading the moment and reading what's going on is super important. But if you do it, it can be such an advantage. You know, you can really map out your shot properly. And like you say, it just gives you even a higher advantage than what you already had. So
We've made a lot of good points on it. One of in my mind, one of the key points is I'm hitting that ball back hard at them. You know, my fourth is hard, my sixth is hard. I'm keeping them back. Then all of a sudden they get that drop that's in there that you can't be offensive with, and you have to right then you have to shift your foot, like you said, Vicki, shift your focus. And now I'm fixing to go soft because you know that they're coming. Shot that's not talked about very much, but I hope we've painted a really good picture of it. Even in matches in rec play, I used to not notice this, but here in the last year and a half, I have noticed it, and I've even told my partner in rec play or at a tournament, we got to somehow get that fourth to bounce in front of them because they are attacking our fourth shots and making us pay. We got to get it on the ground somehow in front of them, and it's crazy if you start doing that. Now your execution is better. Next thing you know, you're better siding out.
that's right. I mean, and certainly you don't want anybody to think that it's that much more important than the third shot. I think if anything is that if you're playing opponents who truly understand that fourth shot and they're playing that fourth shot really well, that makes your third shot drop that much more important. So those two shots, so important to rally and how it's going to proceed. One is just as important as the other.
Well, and piggybacking off of what Jeff said, I mean, you have the positional advantage if you're both at the no volley zone and they're back and they're hitting a third shot drop, whether it's a drive or a drop. And in my opinion, your number one goal from what I've read is keep them back. The best job you can at keeping them back. So whether it's a punch, whether it's a roll, whatever it might be, you want to keep that serving team back. So,
yeah.
Definitely.
And another thing, I mean, it's crazy how much is involved here, but Ken, you just said keep them back. That's so important. Sometimes we get a little cute. They're back and we try to go soft, but we don't go soft enough with it. We just opened up the door and invited them, come on up to the net. You know, so that's something to look out for too. I like good angle shots where you're making somebody run, but sometimes I'll try that fourth, sixth, or eighth, and I'm trying to be soft with it, but I hit it just a little bit too deep, and I don't hit it that hard. Well, now I've given them an easy ball, and if they're smart players, they're going to take that easy ball, lift it into the kitchen, then they have earned their way to the net. And I kind of opened up the door and said, "Hey, come on in, come sit at my table and take my food."
Yeah, that's one shot we were actually working on this week with a beginner class is the punch volley and the block. You know, if you've got somebody who's very accurate and hits a hard third shot, sometimes you don't have time other than just to loosen your grip and try to block that ball back. But if that block, or there's people that try to actually hit a little, like you said, a low drop shot over the net. But if you get too much height on that drop shot or too much depth on that drop shot, you've now invited them in, and it's, you know, what seemed like a good idea has now backfired on you. So you've gone from offense to defense in less than 2 seconds.
Right. And if it has any height on it, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, that's part of like a shake and bake, right? They fire the ball, it kind of comes off your paddle, maybe with a little height and short, and you've got a more agile player that's ready to come in and jump on it and put that ball away between you or whatever they do.
Yeah, I was just thinking about today, and a couple of times I tried that very thing, just to hit a little soft shot, you know, coming off a drive with somebody at the line, and I tried to do it against Ben, and he's so fast.
Yeah,
he got to the net, and he was able to go cross court with the drop shot, and we lost the point.
Well, that's a good point, Bud. That's almost goes back to reading your opponents, right? If you've got some opponents that can move from the baseline, some of these younger guys or some of the guys that are just so agile can move from the baseline up to the no volley zone and get to some of these soft shots, and you've got those that can't. So that's another point of reading your opponent, knowing whether you want to keep them back or trying something like what Jeff talked about. Doug's another good one that you don't want to hit that little soft shot on, because he can get from the baseline to the no volley zone in less than a second.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you want to work a shot, get in games against Ben, Doug, Chase Rigdon. Chase was out there with us. They can close on that ball so fast and make you taking it out of the air.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about Chase today is he is so quick and so fast.
Yeah,
he just covers territory.
Yeah, and
I imagine his fourth shot is probably just so strategic and
yeah. It's good. And if you watch Chase's footwork, it all lies in the footwork with him. He moves his feet quickly and gets set up. He gets over there quick and gets set up. Can't all move that quick, but the footwork, if the footwork's wrong, a lot of times up top goes wrong.
No doubt.
So you focus on getting in position with those feet, and it usually makes things a lot better on your shot.
And one other thing that another fourth shot is, if you've got some people who are really driving the ball hard, sometimes your best fourth shot is just rolling out of the way and letting that ball go long. I mean, that's another option rather than always trying to defend a hard drive. But again, it's reading the ball, reading the trajectory, knowing who's hitting that ball, because some of these people really hit a hard third shot drive, and sometimes just moving out of the way is just as good of a fourth shot or lack of a fourth shot. So
can you stop talking about my weaknesses right now?
Well, and that's where short return, we actually did a little exercise on short return too, remember? And it was, if it was a short high return, what can be done with it then? And here then comes in that block and the punch volley at the net. It's being able to know and read. We've got some short shots getting ready to happen here. And if they're going to happen hard, you're right, Ken. Do you just move out of the way because it's somebody who's really swinging out on the ball, or am I able to block it or punch volley it or even roll it back? So my advice with the fourth shot is just like Jeff said, and that's start watching YouTube videos on the fourth shot, learn your options, get out there, drill and practice, and begin to watch, pay attention in those rec matches to what's going on with that fourth shot.
Now, let's jump into our good old Burr Under Our Saddle with Jeff.
You're burr under my saddle, you're a thorn sticking in my side.
All right, so y'all ready for my Burr Under My Saddle this week?
Absolutely.
I mean, waiting with bated breath, I'm sure.
Always.
Okay, Burr Under My Saddle this week. When all of us are trying to up our games and get in higher level play, I want to give a little warning to people that are, if you can get a higher level player on the court, if you get that higher level player out there on the court and you send every ball to that weak partner beside him, that high level player is not having any fun at all. And you're missing out on a really good opportunity to test your skills against that higher level player. Now, I'm not talking about force a round peg through a square hole, like, okay, this shot needs to go to the weaker player, but I'm going to somehow force it over to the higher level player. But take your chances. Measure your third shot drop against that higher level player.
Absolutely.
Just speaking from experience, when you're out on the court and you're in that position, it is not a lot of fun. The one shot that they give you, they just pepper that that weaker player. Then finally the weaker player pops up, and now they're going to smash it on you. Here's your ball over there, and it's not a lot of fun. And I think that's why some higher level players won't get in matches like that, because they want to get some balls. Now, playing in a tournament, all bets are off. it's dog eat dog. You attack that weaker player till the cows come home. But in rec play, don't miss an opportunity if you're able to get a good player on the court with you to kind of test your skills about them against them somewhat. And that is my Burr Under My Saddle for this week.
All right. Well, to wrap things up for this week, Vicki's got a very special shout out.
Very special indeed. Somebody that we know very dearly, and our founder of Burr Under My Saddle is having a very special day today. Today's the day he entered the world. I don't know how many years ago, but we're not announcing that. But Jeff, you happy birthday to you. And I know we all send our best wishes and hope it's a great pickleball day. As a matter of fact, I know you've already had a great pickleball morning playing with Chase Rigdon. And so we just wish you the best and hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Appreciate
Happy
that.
birthday, Jeff.
Yep, happy
Thank
birthday.
you. Thanks, Ken.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to wrap us up for this week. Stay tuned for next week, and we'll see you then. Goodbye, everybody.
All right. See y'all at the
See you
Big
later.
Easy.
Well, that's it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave any comments, and please like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks again, and see you next week.